right, so hope I am audible and visible also. So my name is Piyush Patel, and a brief introduction about myself. I am working with Vodafone Idea Limited as a digital transformation manager, and I've done my MBA from IIM Kozhikode. So what we are going to do in this session is we will have an interactive session of how to overcome distraction from social media. And I know this is a recorded session, so maybe you can always join in and you can listen to all the video and audio that is being played. So we'll have an interactive session. I'll show you few videos also. So if at any point of time my audio or video is not visible and audible, you can just paste in the chat box. And welcome to all the participants. Let's dive into the presentation right away, setting the expectations right. We will be discussing exactly on how to overcome distraction from social media. First of all, what we need to understand is this is a problem that we all are facing in today's world. So wherever we are, maybe you might be a student, or you might be going to college, or you might be working somewhere or doing internship, but social media is something which हम लोग सब उससे घिरे हुए हैं. We are a part of it. We have created it, and we have created the problems that are associated with social media. Okay, so starting into the presentation, the slides will be taking a little bit of time to load, so just bear with me meanwhile. All right. So for the participants who have joined, count the number of F in this sentence. So what you have to do is, jitni baar bhi F aata hai is sentence mein, you have to paste the number of times you can see the letter F. You have 30 seconds for this. Okay, so anyone can paste the answer of how many times you can see the letter F. Okay, Sonam says 3. Anyone else? Okay, Sonam, so let me tell you that the answer is wrong. The answer is not 3. So what there's a psychological study behind this, and what happens is, when we are trying to read sentences, we often sometimes misread or do not read things that are given to us. So I'll give 10 more seconds. One more time, go through the sentence and you will find that the total number of F's in this sentence is actually 6. Okay, so what happens is, जो भी off के साथ में Kudeep says 4. No, the answer is 6. So as you can see, when we are reading, we do not read the word off generally, and that is skipped through our mind. Keep this in mind. We'll have some more fun, some more riddles. I'll give you one more chance, and you can one more time count the number of F's, but the sentence will change this time, and your timing starts now. Count the number of F's. Come on. And whenever you are done counting, you can paste your answer in the comments. Ten seconds remaining. Kudeep says 11. What about Sonam? Sonam says 12. Okay, one more time. Time up, and let's see what the answer is. And the answer is 13. One more time, you missed these. Okay, so what happens is, again, our mind is not conditioned to read the number of F's that is present in the word off, that is O and F. Okay, so so now that we have your minds up and running, let us dive into the slides that I have for you. This was a riddle. We'll have more quizzes like this, so be attentive and keep typing. And for all of you, because you are attending a Buddy for Study lecture, and you must be like Salman Bhai in this slide, where you are fighting with social media and you're saying to social media, mujhse dur raha kar, right? So make sure that you're not on social media right now. We are on a Zoom link, but we are attending a lecture and we are trying to gain as much as possible. So, okay. So next slide. When we want to be away from the distraction of social media, we have to understand what is social media. Okay. So this is how we'll be going into the slides. First of all, we'll be discussing what exactly is social media. Okay. Next, we will, after defining social media, we will be creating some kind of frameworks where we define that these are the distractions from social media. Then, if there are distractions, how bad it is and why is it bad. Next, we will be discussing on why social media and the distractions are bad. And then we'll be reaching to the title of the presentation, that is how to overcome it. It is not something that we can do it in one day or 1 week. It would be a continuous process. But this, after this session, mind the date, mind the time, 10th of September should be a starting date at your point, at your life, where you would take a turning point and start creating a barrier against the distractions of social media. Sounds fair? Let's go ahead into the slides. And all right. So who is this guy? How many of you can recognize this guy? Come on, paste in the comments. Okay, so this is a very famous content creator, and I'll tell you about this in just a short while. Looking at the number of minutes that we spend on social media, and this is a worldwide figure, 147 minutes. That is close to 2 hours, and actually about 2 hours. That is the daily time spent on social media by an average person, and this is just an average. That means the actual number that you would be using is way more than this 147 minutes. Next, the most downloaded social media app worldwide is TikTok. And obviously, TikTok is banned in our country, but it is on a worldwide level, it is still the most downloaded social media app. Number of Snapchat messages sent every minute is 2 million. So that is the amount of data, the amount of content generated on internet today on social media. Country with the largest Facebook audience. No doubt, we are the largest Facebook audience. We are the people who have contributed a lot to social media in terms of our Facebook usage. And if you talk about the monthly active users, the number of users are 2.93 billion. That's humongous. And on a daily basis, 1.96 billion people are using social media app, that is the Facebook. And if I talk about the industry with the highest Facebook engagement rate, that is the sports teams. Next, share of global female TikTok users is 57%. So that means if there are 100 people who are using TikTok, 57 of them are female. And the global DAU is daily active users. So for TikTok, is it 29 million, and Android, it is 15.54 million. And this guy right in front of your screen, that is the most followed TikTok creator, and his name is Khaby Lame, and it's the memes that he posts are really funny, and that is why on worldwide level he is most followed. And if we talk about Instagram, the number of monthly active Instagram users are more than 2 billion. And if I talk about the audience by age, we have in the age group of 25 to 34 years, where the people are using Instagram. So as we talk about these facts and figures, we can see that the data that is being generated is really, really vast. And you would be surprised to know that the most popular post on Instagram is just a photo of an egg. And I'll show you what is the most popular post on Instagram. It has got more than 50 million likes. And this. So this is the photo of an egg that is trending on Instagram. And it has got, as you can see, more than 56 million likes. All right. So moving on, a short quiz for you. Before that, we will see what happened in 2000. So as you all know, we had a millennium boom after 1999, and we had a major computer crash where all the computer systems in the world were going to shut. And it is a very good case study as part of youth, as part of social media users or users who are trying to deviate from it. You should be knowing about the Y2K syndrome, where all the month and date format were going to change after the year 1999. And what happened in 2000 was, it gave a lot of space for social media apps, social media companies to launch new platforms. So in 2002, LinkedIn was formed, and that is till date the most social media app used amongst the professionals. So if you must be having a LinkedIn profile. If not, go ahead and make one LinkedIn profile, because that is way more important than a Facebook or a Twitter profile. Then in 2004, Facebook was created, as we all know, in California, and you know the founder, Mark Zuckerberg. There's a very nice movie on that, Social Network. You must go and see that. And then in 2005 came YouTube, the first large scale video sharing website. And I would be showing a few videos that would be live on YouTube, and you will have a look at it. Then in 2006 came Twitter, and in 2007 came Tumblr, and the biggest photo sharing app of all time, Instagram. So that was launched in 2010. And also Pinterest. In India, maybe many users are not using Pinterest. We are more using Instagram. So this is the timeline. You can see what happened after 2000. And only in 10 years, we had major companies diving into social media and leveraging the fact that people are going to interact more and more on social media. And that is the timeline and the history of social media. So this is just the first 10 years of 2000. There are more applications that got launched, but before discussing that, all right, so all of you, once again, time to get active on chat box. Open your chat screen and start typing. Which is the parent company of WhatsApp? And the second question would be parent company of Facebook. Third, parent company of Truecaller, Instagram, and Facebook Messenger. So as you can see the app name, these are the top mobile apps in India, and we are in the year 2022, and this is the data for 2022, where we know that these are the top 5 mobile apps. So can we have the names of the parent company? You are allowed to use Google, by the way, but stay away from it for some time. Anyone in the chat box aware about the parent company of these brands? All right, time up. So we'll see who are the parent company, and you would be really surprised to know that out of these 5 companies, 4 are owned by a single company, and that is Meta. So Meta, Facebook changed its name from Facebook to Meta. So Meta remains the parent company, and all the applications are owned by Meta. That is WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and the Truecaller is owned by parent company Truecaller. So these are the top 5 mobile apps. If I talk about top mobile app by number of downloads, so in that list, Instagram is the topper, followed by MX Takatak, Facebook, Snapchat. So these are the various applications. Those are being downloaded on daily basis, and the data is really humongous. We would go about the parent company quiz, but looking at the shortage of time, we could skip this. So I'll directly show you who are the parent company for this. And I would be sharing the slides with your host Aman, and maybe these slides you can refer later. So these are the parent company of the mobile apps by number of downloads. Okay. And looking at the percentage of people that those are using Instagram, Facebook. So in that list also, Instagram tops the list by 76.5%. So of all the active users that are using internet, 76% of them are already on Instagram. And I have a very interesting application on this list, and that is Discord. If you can see Discord, so of the active users on internet, 18% are using Discord, and you would be really surprised to know who are this 18%. So the young age people are generally not on WhatsApp, on Facebook, or maybe the school going kids, they are heavily using Discord, where we see that they are all the time active on their laptop. And since we had pandemic, a lot of people, they have to attend online classes only, and that is how they are using this Discord. I know this would be a new term for many of you, but do check out about this, what is this application Discord is. Okay, so these are the popular messenger apps that are used in India, and this is the data of 2022. Moving ahead, quiz time. I want all of you to get active and please start typing on your chat box. Instagram account with the most number of followers worldwide and Instagram account with most number of followers in India. You have 15 seconds for this. By the way, Aman, you are also part of this presentation, so you can also be a part of this quizzes. Okay, time up. I had one comment and that was, I don't know. That is absolutely fine. So I'll tell you, Instagram account with most number of followers worldwide, this was shown earlier also in the slide. And the answer for that is Cristiano Ronaldo. And look at the number of followers, guys. 477 million. That is really huge. So 47 crore people are on the internet and following this guy. And that is Cristiano Ronaldo. Next up, Instagram account with most number of followers in India. And it's really easy. And that is Virat Kohli with 212 million followers. Okay, so while we are discussing on how to get this away from the distraction of social media, we are also getting to know the number of data created and the number of followers those are already present on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and whatnot. One more chance for you guys. If you are using Twitter account with most number of followers worldwide and account with number of followers in India. So these are basically the political persons, and you can give a random guess also. Based, as you know, Twitter is kind of a micro messaging where we use only limited number of characters, and that is how Twitter has evolved itself. So if I talk about most number of followers of Twitter, Barack Obama, that's the ex-president of US, with 132 million followers on Twitter, and our very own Narendra Modi ji with 82 million followers on Twitter. So these are the figures, and we know who are leading in which area. Moving ahead, so now we would be actually discussing what is social media. If we have to look at the textbook definition, social media are interactive technologies that facilitate the creation and sharing of information. So while you have some information that is easily facilitated or shared, and it is not just that you go on Facebook and chat with somebody or you like somebody's post and that is social media. If we have to discuss on this, maybe you would be guess that we have generally two type of social media where we are using an application or a website, or there could be three types of social media. We are sharing some news, looking at sports, and chatting it with our friends. But you would be really surprised to know that the number of classification or the categorization of social media is much more than that, and we actually have 13 types of social media platforms or applications or networks that are running on internet, and these are the 13 different types. You obviously don't have to go with each and every one, but we have to realize that even if we are going on LinkedIn, or even if we are going on Amazon or Myntra and looking at some reviews, that is also a kind of social media for us, and that is also a kind of distraction, because it is leaving an impact on your mind and it is consuming your time. So now we are on Zoom network. This is also kind of social media, but now we are using it for an educational purpose. And when we go on some other applications, maybe Pinterest or Instagram, that is where, apart from our educational purpose, we are wasting our time. and these are the time that we have to save for us. Okay, these are the various brands that are generally working in this arena where social media is generally popular. You can obviously identify YouTube from this, Pinterest, Instagram, but there are many more which are running online and we are not aware of it. Okay, so how is it creating a distraction? I have some videos for you guys. Let me just share with you. So this was the ad that was released recently. Just have a look and realize that social media can create problems for how many people in their daily lives.
इंटरव्यूज नहीं लेने?
अबे फोटो तो ले लो कोई।
सब बिजी है। मिंत्रा BFF आ रहा है ना, तो आप जा सकते हैं।
Myntra Big Fashion Festival is here. Don't waste time. Wishlist now.
Oh, sorry. चलो।
So that was the ad released maybe just a day back, where this application had this ad has just 4,000 views. So this was released because Myntra's fashion festival is coming up, and as you can see, it's a very funny gesture where they are telling that all the media persons are using their social media application Myntra for shopping, and that is why they're not clicking their photographs or taking interview. Okay, one more video to, and this one
If you touch your phone,
very interesting. I want you to be attentive with this, because after that you would have a short quiz, and you would be either, if you are confident, you can unmute yourself and talk about it, or if not, you can paste in the chat box what is going on. So we are starting with this quiz. Be ready, be attentive.
if you touch your phone thousands of times a day, what does that mean for the conversations that you're having? You may think you're good at multitasking, but let's see how well you do in this quick test.
Amy, so remember that interview I was telling you about with the senator for a summer internship? Turns out I have to do it tomorrow from 11 to 2, so I actually need to borrow your car after all. I also just found out that my high school friend worked on her campaign last cycle, and he offered to put in a good word for me, which is great. I'm still really nervous though, so would you mind reading over my writing sample?
Okay, so you saw that there were two conversations going on, and I am not sure how many could focus on both, but let's hear something on this. If somebody wants to talk, they can write their name on the chat box and we'll allow them to unmute. And if you got the answers right, you can paste the answers over here. So this was a short study done by Georgetown University, where they are trying to gauge as in how attentive we are while we are trying to listen to two conversations. And there's a very simple trick behind this, where one of your senses, that is you are hearing to the audio of the person that is speaking. So jab wo baat kar raha hai, so your ears are active and you are trying to listen to the voice. But while there's a chat going on, and maybe on WhatsApp, on some messenger, so उस chat box में जो chat चल रही है, that is creating a distraction. Or you can look at it as you are trying to read something, you're trying to read the chat, and the voice coming from that person is creating a distraction. So both your senses, your eyes and your ears are interacting, and they are creating a kind of a deadlock, and you're not able to focus on one. So this was a test done in this university, and I'll play one more time now, because you have the questions. You can be more attentive, and then we'll listen to what actually this professor is trying to tell.
If you touch your phone thousands of times a day, what does that mean for the conversations that you're having? You may think you're good at multitasking, but let's see how well you do in this quick test.
Amy, so remember that interview I was telling you about with the senator for a summer internship? Turns out I have to do it tomorrow from 11 to 2, so I actually need to borrow your car after all. I also just found out that my high school friend worked on her campaign last cycle, and he offered to put in a good word for me, which is great. I'm still really nervous though, so would you mind reading over my writing sample?
So how'd you do? Maybe not as well as you expected. It can be hard to fight the urge to check with technology. Your job and social capital can depend on you always being connected, even when it diverts attention away from someone you're sitting right across the table from. Here are some useful tips that may be more realistic than simply asking someone to drop their technology. When you are trying to be efficient and get many tasks accomplished, choose budgeted presence. This choice lets you keep your phone out, but may not be so great for your relationships. When you need people to stay completely focused on you, choose entitled presence. Tell everyone to put their technology away, but know that if you're going to then communicate information that those people don't think they need, you risk losing your credibility. When you need attention but don't want to tell someone to put their device away, choose competitive presence. Here you're trying to compete with the mobile devices around you, which means you need to be compelling to keep their attention. When you want to show someone you value them, choose invitational presence. Invitational presence invites a person to enter into a conversation with you. You make a commitment to put your phone away and focus completely on that other person. It is not the most efficient, but it allows us to build our relationship and be open to new ideas. Every moment of every day requires a choice of where you want to be socially present. What choice are you going to make?
So this was a really interesting and short video on how first we test ourselves, how active we are while listening, and then how it is creating a distraction. So now we know that what is social media, anything that we use to share our information or access information. It is not necessary when you are posting something only then you are using social media. It is also that you have an application for, say, Zomato in your mobile phone, and one notification pops telling about the food of the day and what is cooking up in which kitchen and how you can easily order it online. Or maybe it's a Domino's pizza. So both these applications, Zomato and Domino's, are also a part of your social media life and your social media distraction. So now we know what is social media and how is it creating a distraction. Let's move ahead. These are some of the news that I have came across, and I have tried to gather all those information only based on some study. So not the general news that comes up around social media, but the news that is trying to divert and that has been studied extensively by some good research firm. Social media and youth mental health, how to find balance after pandemic spikes. So what happened during COVID lockdown? Everybody got online. Even a small kid had to go online for their online classes, and that is how they were forced to become a part of social media. And that is how you would be surprised to know you can talk to your younger cousins or brothers and sisters who are in school, and they must be very much familiar by this term Discord, because I have seen how extensively these people are using on a day-to-day basis. How social media like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter can make you sick. So there are a number of studies that has been done which has proved that it is actually making you sick mentally and physically, because you are wasting your time on social media. You are not interactive in actual physical environment, and that is affecting both the health. Technologies of distraction. Phone have teacher worried about her students' future. So this was an article about students' future and the teachers, how they are worried that where we are going with this technology. Psychology experts urge social media giants to increase transparency around algorithms to protect users' mental health. So now what happened, as you might have seen that Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, he was brought in for questioning by the US Congress, and he was in the end asked as in to create some mechanism to urge the giants, the social media giants, to not let users easily fall for this technology, as in there should be some checks and balances, because it is very easy to create a fake account, and it is very easy to be a part of this social media and try to create distraction for others as well. And it is really shocking news that 88% of adults say they procrastinate for at least 1 hour a day. So an hour a day is wasted just by looking at social media, just by scrolling through your Instagram reels or your Twitter account or Facebook. And an average human attention has that attention span, it has shrunk to 8.25 seconds. So we are 45 minutes into this presentation, and I don't know how many of you have gathered your attention and paying attention to these slides. But if we talk about the global figure, the average attention span is just 8.25 seconds. And that is the reason why I have included a lot of videos and a lot of quiz in this to get your attention back to the central topic, that is overcoming this distraction. 54% of teens said that they spend too much time on their phones, and 60% said being online all the time is a major problem. So of all these facts and news, I really like the last one, that is 60% said being online all the time is a major problem. Why I am happy with this sentence is because we know that we are struck by this social media craze, but the moment you accept this, that yes, it is a problem, then is the time that you start acting upon it. So all the participants who have joined this presentation and who have registered, they had this one feeling that is common in all of them, and that was, yes, social media is distracting us and we have to overcome this. I think we all can agree that this was the main agenda, or maybe main common feeling that you all had. And yes, it's a good feeling because now you can start acting upon it. Okay, so why is it bad? Because we have seen these are the mental problems that it has created. A lot of people say they are depressed, they are anxious, and they are very much worried about how they look. And when we are posting online some photographs, we generally use filters or the stickers that are available on this platform. And a lot of us also face bullying. So people who are on social media are creating problems for themselves and for others as well. And because phone is easily accessible to all of us, our sleep quantity and quality both has declined, and it is not good for any of us. And there's this new term that is trending, that is called FOMO, as you all know, fear of missing out. So if all the people in your class are on social media and they are part of a social media group, say on Facebook they have made a group of college students, and if you are not part of it, then you have this feeling that is called FOMO, and that is why this feeling is bad for you. I have one more video. I'll play that video after just 5 minutes, where we will discuss more about social media and why it is destroying our society. But before that, how to overcome it. So now we discussed that what is social media and how it is creating problem, and we are aware that yes, this is a problem. So let's check out that video where it is saying that because of excess use of social media, we have forgotten how to interact with each other on actual physical setting, and that is really bad for us. So this is a short video, and
I want you to start looking for something. And I promise you, once you start looking for it, you'll never be able to stop.
Okay, I'll obviously share the link as well, but just have a look. We'll not probably listen to the entire 5 minutes, but we'll have a look at least for 1 to 2 minutes, where we try to understand that how social media is destroying not just us as individuals, but the society as whole.
And I promise you, once you start looking for it, you'll never be able to stop seeing it everywhere you go. When's the last time you've walked into a restaurant and saw an entire table of friends on their phone, or a group of people on the street, or maybe even your family in the morning, each content to be in their own world, nearly unaware of the reality around them? If the majority of human interaction is nonverbal, what would happen if you removed everything but that small remainder for over a decade? As it turns out, that's the very experiment that we're living in today. I remember when I was growing up, way back in the day, a prehistoric time before everyone had a cell phone and computers were named after the year they were made in. Okay, I'm not quite a dinosaur yet, but I grew up in a unique time where half of my childhood was without the major technology and platforms that seem to rule parts of our lives today, and the other half of my childhood was rapidly slingshotted into the new age of technology. I remember from the earlier half of my childhood, life seemed different, especially human interaction. If you wanted to talk with someone, you had no other option but to physically go out and find them and spend uninterrupted time with them in the same room. And while you were there was nothing pulling your attention away, nothing in the back of your mind reminding you that there are hundreds of other people sharing information that you might be missing out on. That degree of presence, practiced day in and day out, created a different richness to human interaction, with intricacies and nuances that seems to be slowly and gradually lost the further we progress into this new age of technological advancement. And with the meteoric rise in popularity for documentaries like The Social Dilemma, it's safe to say that this is a growing sentiment and realization within today's culture. The terrifying crux to the problem is actually quite simple. There's a massive mismatch between the rate of adaptation and advancement between our biology and technology. Because of the law of acceleration.
Okay, so this is a video about how is social media destroying our society, and this is the graph that is very beautifully shown that the time that is now taken for somebody to adapt to IT, that is information technology, or in other words social media, is really short, and our human body, our human biology is not really ready to acknowledge this change and not ready to adapt to this change. So this graph beautifully sums up, and there's a very extensive research done on this, and I'll share the video with you guys so you can have a look later. We are almost nearing to the main slide where we focus on how to overcome social media distraction. First of all, you have to identify that what is the distraction and you are being distracted by it. So look for the signs. If you are having trouble sleeping, if you are having trouble waking up early, if you are having trouble while eating, that is also a sign that you are distracted. Because even if you're trying to have a meal and you're constantly looking at your phone or your next notification, that is a sign where you have to get alarmed. Spot this early symptoms. So symptom is a word that is generally used when we are diseased. So when we have some disease, we say we look for the symptoms. But mind you, these are all a part of disease. If your social media has distraction on you, you are ill and you have to look for the symptoms. And you have to pinpoint the root cause. What is the root cause? If there are multiple applications, if there are 13 categories of social media, which one is affecting you? Are you doing online shopping, or are you posting a lot of pictures, a lot of stories? Are you posting snaps? Which is that exact root cause? You guys have to identify.